Culture is the operating system. Invisible architecture. Silent instruction set. Running underneath civilization. Culture is the operating system. Quiet in the background while the world keeps spinning. Invisible patterns shaping every instinct. Most people never stop long enough to think. Fashion, language, fear, ambition. Passed down like software with every tradition. Everybody sinking to the same transmission. Calling it freedom while obeying the system. Children inherit unfinished code. Learning what to value before they grow old. What to worship, who to blame. Who deserves comfort, who deserves shame. Invisible lines, invisible walls, invisible pressure shaping us all. Invisible code inside every row, quietly directing the modern soul. Culture OS, running smooth through the mind. Invisible architecture hidden deep behind. Culture OS, every trend, every role, programming the rhythm of the modern soul. Culture OS, installed without consent. Most people never question the environment. Everybody downloading social permission, building personalities through repetition. Screens glowing soft in the night vision, turning human beings into algorithmic decisions. Everybody chasing digital affection, curated lifestyles for public inspection. Metrics replacing human connection, validation loops become addiction. News cycles weaponize attention, fear becomes profitable intervention. Outrage spreads faster than reflection. Division sold as audience retention. Consume, repeat, consume, repeat. Identity built from the social feed. Like, share, swipe, obey. Another version every day. Culture OS, what run deep in the frame, telling people who to love and who to blame. Culture OS, quietly rewriting truth. Manufacture reality injected through the youth. Culture OS, invisible command. Most people never realize they've been programmed. Cities glowing cold in neon weather. Everybody isolated together. Digital tribes forming forever. But nobody really understands each other. The rich sell dreams, the poor sell time. Everybody monetizing the human mind. Attention markets, dopamine streams. Human beings converted into data machines. But somewhere underneath the noise, there is still an authentic voice. Buried under years of conditioning, waiting underneath the system messaging. Question what you worship, question what you fear. Question every voice you were trained to hear. Question every symbol, every sacred trend. Every artificial conflict they defend. Disconnect long enough to breathe, and you begin to finally see how much of yourself was designed by forces operating behind the mind. Culture writes the defaults. Culture shapes perception.
All right. We'll just get it started now. People will join as it goes. So what I want to talk about today is, you can see the title, Sports and World Cup is more important than holding Epstein and his friends accountable. Shameful. What do I mean by this? In the traditional sense, I mean that the bread and circuses is still the same as it always ever has been. There's nothing wrong with sports in general. I have no issue with sports, but I am upset that people care more about sports than almost anything else. A lot of these people are from the UK and all that, and if you go to the UK, they have these grooming gangs all over the place, and they care more about soccer, or they call it football. They care more about that. They care more about that than printed money. They care more about that than not getting health care. They care more about that than poison in foods. it's pretty bad. And you know, I want to just show you how much some of these tickets cost and whatnot, and then we're gonna get into the concept of what bread and circuses is, what that means, why I'm saying it, why it's been a thing, and it's not exactly new. Although it is a little bit frustrating. Um, you know, it really should be that we are kicking a politician's head down the road and playing soccer in their front yard with all their stuff till they start to act right. But that's not, we're not really at that point. I don't think we ever really will get to that point. I think there's too much numbing going on in the society, and they're going to be able to distance themselves. But you know, it's a very, very, very powerful thing. So let's take a look at some of these stats here. Make sure this is up here, and I'll highlight it as I go. Let me see if I can change my thing to be uh, maybe here like that. Maybe that'll be better. So, uh, and I'll highlight it so you can see what I'm reading here, if I can. Whoa, I didn't even know I could do that. So the 2026 FIFA World Cup is shattering global television records, pushing stadium capacities to near 100% and commanding some of the highest sport ticket prices in history. And these are the broadcast and viewership reach audience. Historic records of the United States versus Paraguay opening match drew a massive 27.5 million combined viewers among Fox, 18 million, and Telemundo Peacock slash 9 is 9.5 million, making it the most watched sports game in United States broadcast history. Network surges. Average group stage viewership is exponentially compared to Qatar, tracking 128% increase of Fox slash SF1 averaging 6 million viewers, a 243% increase from Telemundo averaging 7.5 million viewers. So it's going up as there's more war, as there's more inflation, as there's more threat for oil missing, resources going dry. The demand for the escape of sports is going up. International highlights: Japan's won over Tunisia. Uh, I'm not pronouncing that right. Hit a tournament high peak of over 27.6 million viewers on Nippon TV China, and over 192 million unique views have tuned into the tournament across closed circuit TV channels. Stadium attendance records. Sellout crowds. Across the first 44 matches, total stadiums dropped. Attendance topped at 2.85 million, running an incredible 99.6% venue capacity. So we'll get into the prices are coming up. Single day peak on June 16th, a record breaking 281,000 plus fans attend 4 matches in one daily, headed by France versus Senegal at MetLife Stadium, smashing a 32-year-old single day record from the 1994 World Cup. And this other one had over 80,000, basically 80,001 spectators. So ticket costs. Again, these people can't really afford medicine, food. They're bitching about gas, but they're going to spend all this money on this for like just a day. Face value tickets are difficult to acquire due to extreme demand driving secondary markets. to staggering heights. Face value. Official FIFA direct ticket prices technically start at $60 rate for select one. So that's if you win the lottery winner. So again, they want to make sure you're gambling because they want you to gamble. That's the only way you feel alive is if you gamble. So remember that. That's how you do it. That's how you feel alive when you watch somebody do something else or you gamble. That's what they love. But primary tickets generally run between 1,400 and 3,500 on the official site. The resale market, so they're going to gouge you on this, to get into a standard ticket knockout stage game on platforms like StubHub, Ticketmaster. The cheapest nosebleed tickets are 2,800 to 3,600, while lower level seats stretch past 13,000 to 21,000. Wow. The grand final, FIFA heavily adjusted prices to the stadium in MetLife. Tickets cost 32, basically 33K. Wow. Wow. So the only maybe good positive thing, it does help affect the local economies, which are going to stay here. Uh, Travel and tourism impact, massive influx. Tourism economic project Tourism economics project over 1.24 million international visitors traveling to the United States alone during the tournament window, contributing an estimate 6.4 billion during tourist exposure. And what is that? It's just alcohol, food, and ticket prices. I guess maybe Uber and some restaurants, but they're just getting drunk and watching this stuff. Which is, that's their right to do it. And they are doing hotels too. The accommodation premium. Hotel and short-term rental rates are seeing major spikes. For example, Los Angeles is seeing an average of 90% hotel rate increase so they jack it up, of course, with average nights jumping from 277 to 480 a night. Airbnb hosts are projected to bring in $2.6 billion collectively, hosting across 16 host cities. No, I'm not looking to plan a trip to there. So why am I covering this? Because it's gone on for a very, very long time. Nothing is new under the sun. So what they're saying, sports is the opiates of the masses. And the bread and circuses is basically saying, like, we just want you to get drunk, eat bread, watch this. So you're not going to really look into anything else. And the thing that I'm kind of upset with is like, um, we have all this other evil stuff in the world. And if these people just channeled it a little bit toward, I don't know, stopping some of this inflation, stopping these grooming gangs, stopping you know, there's so many other ways that we could use the time, and I just don't understand how they get the high that they get watching the sports and end up enjoying it. It's crazy. So let's watch this little video here. It's going to explain how this has been going on a really long time. And this is from Legions of History. We'll give a thumbs up to it and go check it out.
Sport has always been seen as a critical institution amongst all great societies of the past. Whether it be the first Olympic Games in ancient Greece, to the gladiatorial battles in ancient Rome, to the installation of modern athletics and sports entertainment today in American society. Sport has played various roles within ancient and modern society, from being a unifying factor amongst fractured or separated societies, to becoming a source of national pride amongst competing nations, and certainly not least of all, as a distraction for the masses.
Yeah, so this guy here has nothing else going on. Okay, remember they're watching someone else like win. They're not really a part of it. Um, it's I just don't understand it. I find it frustrating. I guess I'm a little bit jealous that I am not as happy as they are to just sit and watch these sports like that. And I'm not really understanding why it's so awesome. I guess if you go in person, it is more exciting. So I can say that, but they, millions of people, like, they give more energy to this than they care about voting, than they care about you know their food being poisoned, and they care about, like, why don't we have these people mad at the Flint, Michigan people? So this guy's Buffalo Bills, or Green Bay Packers, like Michigan is like Detroit Lions. Why don't the Detroit Lions fans get mad at the Flint, Michigan people who poison their water and poison them for generations? It, it's just staggering to me.
Give them bread and circuses, and they will never revolt. Quote is attributed to the Roman poet, Juvenal. It is well documented that in ancient Rome, when the people, i.e., the plebeians, had their food, bread, and their entertainment, the games held in places such as the Colosseum, they were happy and, more importantly, controllable. Roman sports were often violent spectacles designed to entertain the masses. Gladiatorial matches, which originated as funeral rites, evolved into grand public events held in arenas such as the Colosseum. These brutal battles between trained fighters, criminals, and prisoners of war became a means for emperors to display power and placate the populace. The people of the ancient world adored the distraction that sport provided from the perils and woes of everyday life.
So it's an escape from your everyday life. That's part of the appeal of it for them. It's I don't know, maybe watching someone else win makes you feel like a winner or something, but I mean having maybe money on the game makes it more fun. But it's in a form of escapism. It's a form of tribalism. My team is better than your team. Ha ha ha. We're so much better than you. When they win, I win. It's like, no, you don't. You don't actually win. So sports in and of themselves are so okay, but like we're we tend to idolize these people so much. Like, we'll be okay if Tom Brady doesn't throw a ball. The world will spin just fine. You know what I mean? People spend so much of their money on this stuff, and they act like you're weird if you don't watch it.
Especially in the decline of the empire. Often you can see an uptick in the promotion of sport or entertainment in times of great turmoil. The period from 70 to 90 AD was marked by significant turmoil in the Roman Empire, particularly following the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 AD during the First Jewish-Roman War. This era saw political instability, including the rise of various claimants to power and the eventual ascension of emperors like Vespasian and his son Titus, who faced challenges in maintaining control over the empire and dealing with ongoing revolts, such as the Jewish rebellion that continued until 73 AD. Coincidentally, the Great Colosseum of Rome was built between 70 and 80 AD, a place that showed great fights, circuses, simulated combat, and even mock naval battles, all at a time when revolt and uncertainty plagued the Roman Empire abroad. We see
Same as now. We have all this stuff straight of Hormuz and everything. Iran's kicking our ass. We don't want to admit it that we're, getting shown up by them. But they have the World Cup here. So everyone is just it's just amazing that so many people are gathering around to watch a ball go through a net. But it's not really that. It's more the collective distraction. It's that is really what they want. That's what the drug is. And that drug never goes out of style, but you have to pay a lot for that. We just saw how much those ticket prices were. let alone if you have a beer out there, that's probably like an $18 beer. So these people are going to almost like work half the year to do this stuff for a little bit of time, and it just doesn't seem worth it. And it's almost a Disney brain.
Great palaces of grandeur, erected as symbols of power and authority, in order to captivate the masses and display to them that power as a concept in itself was meant for those of higher status. These displays of grandeur do an excellent job of separating empowered from powerless, and they went to great lengths to make that apparent. Emperors, not unlike today's suite levels, had their own podiums in the crowd, simultaneously
Which is the VIP sections. This is, we see this now. This is the booths that you get.
with the masses, yet always and eternally above and separate. Many of the plebeians could see through this arrangement, yet lacked any real influence due to the lack of widespread connectivity, while the majority of the masses gleefully sat around, getting fat and drunk off the wine and scraps left behind by the
Yep. Guys, these are people that are, they're voters, they're sheep. It's we should be a little bit more upset about this. This is kind of for children right here. I understand that people enjoy football and stuff like that, but they enjoy the distraction of it, and they don't want to own up to that.
ruling class of society, inoculating themselves week after week, while their homeland delved further into chaos and eventually ruins. This would lay the foundation for later campaigns to move sport into the spotlight within the budding Western world. The Freudian reality principle describes how industrial society embraced a system of compromises to organize life around values and philosophies that reduced ambiguity, insecurity, and uncertainty. It did this by establishing institutionally approved guidelines for what was considered proper behavior. Industrial English society structured daily life around
So another thing that I want to bring up too is we'll take football for example, the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is commercials plus sports. Again, it's commercials plus sports. That's what you're watching most of the time. And then they have to do here's the halftime episode where they do some weird humiliation ritual and they have this bad bunny guy or something stupid and they're like, we don't agree with it. And then like the women are like, I just like watching the Super Bowl for the commercials. Because you're sheep. That's what they would do. We pay for these stadiums. We don't get. It's not like if the United States win, you get $100 or something into your paycheck, or into you get mailed $100 or something like that. No, it's not.
deferred gratification, rigid work routines, and institutional norms to suppress the chaos of unchecked desires, fostering a sense of stability amid rapid urbanization and economic upheaval. However, this framework also paved the way for sports, particularly football, to emerge as a sanctioned outlet for releasing pent-up tensions, channeling the id's aggressive
Let's see what type of symbolism we have here. I haven't seen these before, but I would not be surprised if there's a lot of symbolism within these, which I'm not going to, get into right now. And I'm glad people have fun with this. I'm not a completely bitter person, but I'm just saying on the list of priorities and all of that, like if you ask the average person, would you miss going to the World Cup? So the Epstein people and these AI tech people that hate you, if they were held accountable and you could hold them accountable, would you give up the World Cup for that? Would you give up the Super Bowl for that? This one year? How about we just take all the sports off this year, clean up some of the bad people, clean it up, um, make it better for the future, stop some of this tax wasting and all this fraud that's going on. Let's just stop some of the fraud, and then you can go back to playing sports so they can start the fraud again in different ways. They are putting sports above everything else. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like that is their value system when you think about it. They value this more than stopping something bad that they're well aware of and affects their life all the time and they bitch about it.
and pleasure-seeking impulses into predictable, spectator-driven spectacles that reinforced social order rather than challenging it. Mix in the mass production of ales and spirits, as well as the bane of gambling, and you have the recipe for a society ready to defer all of its woes and
Mhm.
indiscretions
Just get drunk and gamble and watch the slop.
to the hands of a small ruling class in exchange for a quiet and peaceful weekend at the pubs with their mates, drinking and gambling their prime years away, and eventually becoming just another generation that entrenched itself deeper into inoculation. This distraction mechanism echoes the ancient Roman strategy of bread and circuses, where elites pacified the masses with sustenance and entertainment to prevent unrest, a tactic adapted in modern Britain to maintain the status quo during periods of legislative maneuvering.
See how there's only a few people here? Why don't the football hooligans get involved in this stuff? That would be much better. It would be much more productive. And then you can go back and watch as much football as you want. The prices of everything will be better and you're going to have more fun.
Ultimately, sports in industrial England served as both a safety valve for ambivalence, reducing insecurity through predictable rituals, and a tool for elite distraction, ensuring that while fans debated matches, parliaments enacted laws prioritizing capital over labor, perpetuating the trade offs of a society engineered for control. In the American context, the
So during the football season for United States is when they do a lot of the shady laws and things like that. There's just more bullshit that will happen during the United States football season, which is like, ends. It's like from I don't know September to like February, something around that time. That's when they pull a lot of the bullshit off because these people just they're so much more focused on this. People care more about fantasy football than they do their job. At these office jobs, I see it all the time.
NFL perfected the Freudian reality, principles, mechanisms of distraction and conformity on a grander, more commercialized scale than English football, transforming industrial era trade offs into a hyper-capitalist spectacle that channels societal frustrations into ritualized entertainment while embedding institutional control.
hmm Again, this is what I'm talking about. See all these brands here. You're watching commercials and football. It just should be sport only, but you're actually watching more commercials than football.
Emerging in the early 20th century amid America's own industrial boom, marked by factory work, urbanization, and labor
What's up,
strife,
man?
the NFL evolved from semi-professional roots in the 1920s to a professional powerhouse
And we can probably call the NFL the National Felons League. A lot of these guys are kind of scum too.
by the mid-century, mirroring the growth of mass media and consumer culture. Like its English counterpart, it provided a safety valve for the working class, offering vicarious thrills through violent, team-based competition that sublimated aggressive impulses into predictable weekly rituals, fostering a sense of community and national unity without threatening the
No, it's not community, it's tribalism. Hey, I'm from fucking Boston, man. Fuck the Yankees. You know how like retarded that is? The people that are on the Boston Red Sox are not from Boston. They're from like Guatemala and shit like that. They're from like Puerto Rico and other places like that. They're not even from the local areas, and then they get traded. So like when Tom Brady got traded to Tampa Bay Buccaneers, people are like, how could you let us down like that? Like he's not your dad. He doesn't have any loyalty to you. It's also a way that they do worship as well. Yeah, it's definitely a herd mentality.
economic order. However, the NFL amplified this through television dominance starting in the 1950s, turning games into national events that dwarfed local English leagues in reach and revenue, deliberately engineered to align with deferred gratification. Fans endure grueling work weeks, then release tensions via tailgating, fantasy leagues, and cheer.
Yep, yep. That so they work their shit job for printed money and then they eat poison food, drink poison, try to lie to themselves, numb themselves, telling themselves, they're having fun, talking about, oh, well, this guy's getting drafted to here and he's a first round draft pick. They try to make it like an economy. They care so much about fantasy football and everything like that. And I do understand this sports betting and all that, but I wouldn't even be surprised if some of this is even rigged. I've heard some things where there can be like, some of these are rigged a little bit, to some degree. So, or certain aspects of it are, but like, guys, these, I'm not saying they can't have fun, but if you start looking at it, it is kind of retarded.
Reinforcing the appropriate behavior of passive spectatorship over active dissent. This perfection as a distraction tool draws directly from the bread and circuses archetype, where the NFL, subsidized by government exemptions like its tax-free status and antitrust protections, delivers affordable escapism, broadcasts and cheap concessions.
And again, most people in this country care more about this ball here than these people worshiping ball, than these people sacrificing kids, than these people doing Epstein's Island, than these people creating a tech oligarchy over you, than these people taking away your health care, than these people allowing poison to be in the water and the food and the air. They care more about this pigskin right here. They really do. That's their value system, is this pigskin right here. They don't even throw a football with their kid. They just watch it on the TV.
Alongside gladiatorial violence, pacifying the masses amid policies that exacerbate inequality. The League's socialist-like structures, such as revenue sharing and salary caps, ensure competitive parity across markets, preventing dominance by wealthy coastal teams and maintaining broad appeal that unites a divided populace, even as it diverts scrutiny from corporate welfare and labor exploitation. Critics note how this setup
Oh yeah, so one other like fun fact thing. Oh yeah, two fun facts that I can say right now. Number one, this had to do with how I was bringing up numerology a lot. The Dallas Cowboys is by far the most revenue generating team. Yeah, you can see the value here. That's because they like launched their stuff on the 28th, the day of wealth, the number of wealth. So because the Dallas Cowboys don't even win that much. Equilibrium put all sports that are prep minds of people to have adversary mindset. Prime you for division in other ways. Red team, blue. Exactly. Yep. Yep. And that's not. And it's basically like tribalism as well. The red team is better than the blue team. You're gay if you're on the blue team, and shit like that. Also, too, when you flip this New England Patriots thing, it makes like a demon. Let me see if I can find that here. New England Patriots image flipped. This will blow your mind. New Yeah, yes. Quick side note for this. Again, when I was talking about Baal or these demons and stuff, watch this right here.
Literally the Baphomet from a different angle. It's just the right side of the Baphomet's face with the two horns. There's the red two horns. And that was a crazy.
I wish I knew who I got this from so I could give him credit.
Shout out to that person.
That was not a good example of it. Whatever. We don't need to really worry about that right now. Which one was I watching? This right here.
Echoes Roman tactics, with the NFL's multi-billion-dollar empire, fueled by
Brent?
ads, merchandise, and media deals, keeping eyes on the field while real-world grievances like wage stagnation or deindustrialization fester unchecked.
Yep. Yeah. All the problems, like people give. Remember when I said your attention is where you have your power and all that, and people give all their attention and energy to this, like a real lot of it. It's bad.
The Super Bowl epitomizes this mastery, evolving into America's ultimate circus since its 1967 inception, drawing over 100 million viewers annually and generating billions in economic activity that overshadows policy debates. During these events, adverse actions, like the 2004 halftime controversy allegedly distracting from the Iraq War or Israeli strikes on Rafah coinciding with broadcasts, highlight how the spectacle blunts public outrage, allowing legislation on taxes, surveillance, or foreign aid to pass with minimal resistance. The NFL's own lobbying, spending millions on issues like drone regulations or AED placements, further entrenches this, as owners and the league wield influence to protect their model,
Like, this guy isn't healthy.
while fans fixate on plays, not the systemic inequities it sustains. The Romans, Greeks, and historical English would gaze in awe at America's NFL-driven, bread and circuses model, a masterclass in channeling societal tensions into a polished, hyper-commercial spectacle that surpasses their own attempts at distraction and control. The Romans, with their gladiatorial arenas and grain doles, pacified restless masses to maintain imperial order, yet their reach was limited by physical amphitheaters and local logistics. The Greeks, through athletic festivals like the Olympics, fostered cultural unity, but lacked the scale to consistently divert attention from political machinations. The English, harnessing football to soothe industrial-era discontent, came closer, yet their regional leagues paled against America's nationwide, media-saturated juggernaut. The NFL, with its Super Bowl extravaganzas, television dominance, and revenue-sharing socialism, perfects this ancient art, uniting a fractious nation under a veneer of shared passion, while legislation favoring elites slips through unnoticed. Its ability to transform Freud's reality principle into a multi-billion-dollar machine, blending violent catharsis, consumerist loyalty, and institutional conformity, would leave the ancients envious of a system that distracts so thoroughly, it renders rebellion unthinkable.
This high school's special.
Oh, geez, another teacher diddling students. What the fuck? And yeah. So here's another guy that I like, and I've seen a lot of his stuff, called Alan Watts, which I believe is from Canada. Yeah, profiting from the average citizen, distraction for the masses. I mean, I know that you guys know the deal. I just thought it was relevant to bring up because they have all this World Cup stuff going on. My brother lives basically like in Boston. He said like his company said, "Hey, just work from home the next few days because it's going to be such a mess there." And I think they drank like all the alcohol in Boston or something crazy. Let me take a look at that. Um, yeah, we'll check this right here really quick.
Top left hand.
I mean, Boston drinks hard, guys. I can't even imagine that they would run out of this.
Side of your screen, that's Seattle Stadium. Top right, that is over Boston, Massachusetts. We have Kaylee Schuyler out there. But first, I want to head over to Sean Chitness in Seattle because all eyes right now are on the U.S. team. Sean, how's it going out there?
Josh, good morning. Well, we're still a few hours away from this. We're in the area where we're expecting to see many fans from both the U.S. as well as the Australia team, but still a little early here. We do notice the impact of having one of the most anticipated matches of their tournament at this particular location. I can see Seattle Stadium in the distance, and then this is really one of the major streets for folks to head in. Employees have been coming in over the past hour. It's worth noting we're also right next to the baseball stadium. There is a Mariners game later today, so it is really going to be an eventful Friday here in Seattle. So as we look ahead to what is going to be happening for the rest of the morning, we're right next to one of the official watch party locations that the local organizing committee has encouraged people.
See, look at this. See, you even see this. Look at the. I don't know if it'll show you at the bottom. Drone attacks and start of war, oil refinery near Moscow, and they're just showing you this bullshit.
To check out, it's called Victory Hall. It is right next to the baseball stadium, so it is often a popular place. But so far in this tournament, we have seen people come out to really enjoy watching all of these different matches from fans all over the world, supporting some of the different countries that have been playing already, whether they are here in Seattle or somewhere else in one of those other host cities. So it's been an exciting time just to be in and around the city and at locations like Victory Hall. Today, Victory Hall will be hosting the Australian fans. They're going to gather here around 7:30 local time, have some celebrations, get excited for the match, and then around 10 a.m. Seattle time, that's when they'll start to make the walk over to Seattle Stadium and to get ready for kickoff at noon. We also want to show you what it was like on Monday when we hosted our first ever World Cup match. That is when Belgium and Egypt in a tie, where we got to see up close how the Belgian fans did the exact same thing, had that march to the stadium and get excited for their team. And so that is what we're expecting from both the Australian team and the U.S. team.
So they can come together to kick a ball around, but not blow the shit out of each other.
We're away from that other location. It's Pier 58, Waterfront Park, right along the water, a beautiful location. That is where we will see the fans for the U.S. men's national team. We're expecting some local legends as well, including Marshawn Lynch and Ken Griffey Jr. to be a part of that celebration. There's also going to be a Juneteenth celebration. It'll all become one and work its way over here to this part of the city and Seattle Stadium.
Yeah, this is what my brother was
Sean
telling
Chitness there
me.
with our Fox
I
13
think they're going to
Seattle
go
team.
into
Always
this
exciting
right
here
now.
as we're going to see the U.S. men's team play. Now, we also have a match over there in the Boston area, and I want to bring in Kaylee Schuyler with Fox News, who has much more on that for us. Kaylee?
Hey, Josh. So over the last week, Scotland fans have basically been packing the bars from open until closed. So a little bit later today, the bars are hosting a send-off party. And the Scots, they've been drinking so much that at one point, some of the bars were running out of beer. But most of it's been restocked now, but the bars are embracing it. They say they love the visitors. So here in a couple hours, they're opening early so the fans can come in and celebrate, get a couple beers down before they head out to Boston Stadium. You know, they sing.
Again, you go to Scotland and it's a shithole. It's a stabbing capital of the world shithole.
They dance. They're happy. It's positive. There's no aggression or destruction. It's all positive. Scotland fans known as the Tartan Army have made Boston their oyster while visiting for the World Cup. Whether it's celebrating newlyweds, playing the bagpipes around town, or drinking at the bars.
I need to save up for a liver transplant after this trip.
We were in Cheers Bar yesterday for 2 pints and we stayed for 20.
One bar had to triple their inventory to keep up.
We have had to ramp up our beer and liquor orders and our food. So chicken fingers have been flying. We ran up ales and lagers, which is the big sellers, and Guinness, of course.
The Scots have high hopes to advance to the next round.
1 point, a draw and we're through.
And I win, hopefully. Even if it's a win now, I win.
And the fans are friendly with their opponents.
Outnumbered for sure, but we are represented.
And we are super loud. Morocco reached the semifinals of the 2022 FIFA World Cup, and fans say they aren't sweating this match.
Now we're going to get our 3 points against Scotland. Not worried at all.
No. What do you mean we are? They are. You're not doing shit except getting drunk.
Actually, they're ready for this game, and they're going for it. They're going for a long run. Actually, that's the goal.
And Bostonians and Scotland fans have embraced each other so much that yesterday, Boston Mayor Michelle Wu signed a letter of intent to establish Boston and Glasgow, Scotland as sister cities next year. Josh?
I'm sorry, Kaylee, did you say that they ran out of beer? How does the city just run out of beer?
Hey, the party hasn't stopped here for about 8 days. So, I mean, yeah, these bars are putting in emergency orders. They just, I don't know if they're drinking water. I mean, I hope they are, but everywhere you walk, someone's drinking beer.
I mean, it's probably hot, so yeah, definitely drink water. Kaylee Schuyler there at Fox News. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You definitely.
In Boston, they drink a ton too. Like, they're most. So Northeast has a lot of Irish. I think actually New Hampshire has the most Irish, but Boston has a shit ton of Irish, and they drink a shit ton. Equilibrium writes in, every World Cup involves corruption and conspiracy that follows. Yeah. I don't follow it or watch it or know much about it, so I'm not exactly sure. But I know one other guy that I check in with who would know about it. Let me look at his right now. He might actually be able to World Cup. World Cup. Hold on, please. 1 minute. Okay, I couldn't find that one. So here's I want to show this financial guy here who's going to talk about it as well.
Spectator sports, by focusing attention on the prowess of a few athletes, discourage people from believing in their own power to change the world.
That's the point of what I'm kind of trying to say here, is pretty much that. And again, I'm not saying anything really groundbreaking. I'm just repointing it out again.
Howard Zinn.
Karl Marx was famous for saying that religion was opiate for the masses. But what if I told you that spectator sports were the opiate of the middle class? Welcome to Analyzing Finance with Nick. Today, I'm going to be talking about spectator sports and the class relationship. In a previous video I did about class divide in sports, I discussed sports are played by different social classes, where working class sports tend to be those either lower costs or more risk to personal health, mainly combat sports, whereas the more elite sports tend to be ones with higher barriers to entry and are more expensive and not as monetizable. And
like water polo and shit, like the stuff they do on the horses, I forget what it's called.
Spectator sports also have a class dichotomy, and it's that really is become the greatest distraction of the middle class. And really your ranking within the middle class can be visibly seen by your relationship to professional sports and spectator sports generally. First, let's start with who doesn't really participate or is not that interested in professional sports. And again, I'm saying this as not somebody who hates sports. I've been a sports fan various times in my life, but there is a noticeable pattern on the socio and cultural impacts of it, which I think are generally discounted by sports fans as a whole. When it comes to the very lowest classes, they usually do not have time to play sports or have interest to play sports. They either have mental health issues that are holding them back. They may have to work much longer hours at below subsistence wages, so they really don't have the luxury to watch games on TV or go to games. The financial restrictions, it's too expensive to pay for tickets to attend for games or have cable packages or streaming packages needed to watch the games. Maybe you can fall on the internet for a very reasonable price, but it's the very bottom of society just doesn't have as much of a luxury to be following sports. So it's more common among the working classes and the middle class who have just enough base level of income that they're able to get by, and they do have weekends or evenings to watch games, but they don't have so much wealth that they can pursue better things to do with their free time. Like sports and following sports is one of the most affordable forms of.
And what I hate the most is sports talk. These talk shows that just talk about sports and stuff like that. They're some of the worst people. These sports broadcasters, like the ones who are presenter on TV, that's a little different, especially if they're, retired or something like that from actually playing the sport. But the people that just do like sports talk and sports radio, they're just so goddamn annoying.
Leisure, even if ticket prices are very expensive. I'll get into ticket prices later in this conversation. Like watching sports on TV is, whether through cable or streaming, is very reasonably priced. You can get highlights oftentimes on YouTube or other free sources. And following sports is a pastime, especially in a more secular society where religion is not as dominant. And it's a good escape from a lot of politics, which in America, politics has kind of become a sport, given the level of polarization and red team versus blue team dynamics that go on in modern American politics. And just the horse race nature of political media too has some component to this. But still, sports are a very affordable identity to take on. They are a hobby that doesn't require too much commitment in terms of.
Again, fair use. And this guy is called Analyzing Finance with Nick. I have speeded it up a little bit, but I think he's doing a good job.
Skill or financial commitment, like it doesn't take any sort of education or knowledge or life experience to be able to watch a sports game. And since people have probably played at a lot of these sports sometime in their youth, because generally working class sports are the ones that are the most popular in terms of spectator sports, people in the culture have a general idea how they work. And after watching a few games, they understand the.
Yeah. I'm the same way, man. And I'm not saying I'm not athletic. I ski, I snowboard, I played hockey. I paddleboard. Like I'm actually a fairly athletic person. But I don't need to go pay to watch it. Maybe I'll watch I don't even really watch many videos of it, to be honest with you. A lot of these people that's what I'm trying to say. They're watching the sport, but they don't even play or participate. They never even really did. They just kind of want to get drunk and eat chicken wings and stuff, which is fine. But just say that you just want to get drunk and eat chicken wings. Just say that you want to do that and barbecue and tailgate. Um, a lot of times they're just using football as the excuse to do so.
Rules pretty well. Like, I'm amazed actually how sophisticated a lot of the knowledge is of sports fans to sports and even the business side of it. And if they can apply it, other things in life, there's a lot of potential there to really advance. So that accessibility is a big driver. Why aren't the elites into sports? Like, it's basically an
because they know it's a waste of time.
Inverse U-shaped curve until there's interest and money spent on sports. The lower class don't really care or spend on sports. The middle class and the upper middle class spend the most money, time, and attention on sports. And the upper class, the elites, don't pay attention to sports really as much either. Why? Because they can do a lot more interesting things with their time in real life. Like, have you ever gone traveling on vacation or pursued like a more adventurous hobby? And we're just busy with other more exciting.
Or create something. Like, that's another thing too. People who watch a lot of sports, they don't create anything. They're just consuming. They're just a consumer of watching sports and eating chicken fingers and stuff that's so priced over there. Yeah. Yeah, I have a wakeboard. I live at a lake, but I don't know enough people with a big enough boat and stuff like that. I've done a good amount of wake surfing, but wakeboarding is so much cooler than wake surfing. Like, wake surfing, you get kind of sick of it after a while. I used to do that actually frequently.
Things in your life. You notice at those same times, your interest in sports declined. Like, I've noticed in my personal life, when I moved away from my home country to a place in a different time zone where I just couldn't physically follow sports anymore and have a reasonable sleep schedule, along with the fact that I just had many other things going on in this place that were just new adventures occupying my time, I lost my interest in sports to a certain degree. And that was kind of the beginning of the end in terms of my avid sports fandom. And I think there are plenty of other people who've had similar experiences. Like, the elites are more likely to have lived overseas. They're more likely to travel extensively, and they're more likely to be able to do certain expensive hobbies and activities that others can't on their weekends and free time due to financial constraints. So if you're out there experiencing life in a more real and direct way, the need to vicariously follow others' accomplishments through sports diminishes. Same for highly accomplished professionals. Like, if you are like a top lawyer or a top businessman or a top professional in some industry and you're out there just actually doing things that make a real difference, or politicians too. Like,
well, not politicians, but this is exactly right. If you're out there doing everything and doing producing something, making a business, making a difference, creating something, playing your own music or something like that, trying to make a band, trying to make a brand, trying to I don't know, invent something. There's so many other uses of your time. You know what I mean? Like, when these people look back on their life and be like, "Oh my God, all those football games are great," and it's like, I don't know, was it really that great? And maybe for some people it is, but you know, generally, if like if you're someone who watches football and you wear another football jersey, you're kind of a cuck. Like, you're wearing another man's name on your back. I'm not saying you can't have admiration and respect for someone, but you don't wear another man's name on your back. It's, you know what I mean? It's their jersey and stuff. It's really weird.
The fact that you're doing stuff yourself makes you less interested in vicariously following the other.
And again, too, sports is like the marketplace for people who are not really in the marketplace.
People's trials and tribulations. This isn't always the case, but I think the mindset, which is why I think a lot of the elites just simply aren't into sports, because they have the luxury to be able to afford to do better things, quote unquote, with their time, when they're playing those sports or pursuing other hobbies that might be more intrinsically interesting or fulfilling. Or the people in the elites are new money who are very busy building their wealth and being out there in the arena, as Teddy Roosevelt used to say. So they simply do not have the time. So that comes about.
Yeah, exactly. That's saying, like, in the arena. If you have your own business and you have to go out and sell and make it happen and stuff, you're in the arena. You have to make it happen. You're in this. You have skin in the game. If you have skin in the game, like, that's a great way of saying it. Like, you don't have skin in the game when it comes to watching sports. You have skin in the game in your own life and your own things that you do, the own risks that you take and everything. Gambling is the only justification for any of this. And gambling in America, they just want you to gamble as much as possible all the time. it's sad.
Watching sports on TV. I mean, if you notice, like the commercials on TV, they mostly cater to precariat, working and middle class people because those are the audiences. So then if the elites and the rich aren't really interested in sports, then why is sports so expensive? Why are sports teams so expensive to buy? Why does it cost so much to go to a sporting event? Well, it's supply and demand like anything else. There's only 30 to 32 teams in each of the major 4 professional sports leagues in America. Most of the top premier soccer leagues in Europe, there's about 20 teams each in each country. So, and they haven't really had much expansion since the late 90s, early 2000s. So the result is you just have more of the population and general population growth, creating more for the same amount of sports supplied. That explains the increases in player contracts and ticket prices and the whole thing. And the other thing is, well, where do they have the money to buy this? Well, it's simply a priority thing. Like I used to think like, man, I could never afford to go to the NBA Finals or the Rose Bowl or the Olympics or the World Cup or whatever sporting event that I wanted to go to at the time. And then I looked at it and I'm like, what did I spend on international travel in that year? Like, let's just say, for example, tickets for the Olympics cost $2,000 to go to like one track and field day and one day swimming. Let's say it's $2,000. And let's say that's about the same price as a European vacation or a very reasonably priced European vacation. Because it's going to be about $600 to $1,200 to fly out there and then hotels and food and all that kind of thing. And when it adds up, you're spending the same amount on that European vacation as you would on a sporting event. And for less expensive sporting events, it's the same as instead of canceling your weekend trip to Mexico or your weekend trip to Tahoe, if you live in California, or my more East Coast audience, like a weekend trip to the Hamptons or to Florida. Like if you do the math on the flights and the rental car and the hotel and all things you'd spend on a trip, it's probably similar to what a family would spend on a sporting event or maybe a little bit more. And so it's a priority thing. Certain people prioritize travel. Other people prioritize going to the sports team in person. And the traveling has become a middle-class activity. So I think it's an equivalent trade-off. Or same with other hobbies. Like say instead of buying a new set of golf clubs and your green fees you spend playing golf is $50 to $100 around plus the $1,000 you spend on golf course. You could use that same money to buy season tickets for a baseball team, a Major League Baseball team, or go to a couple games of each of the sports you follow. So
yeah, but at least you're playing a sport. Like at least you're doing it rather than watching it.
It's really, from that perspective, if you look at the trade-off versus pursuing another hobby or traveling, it's about the same amount of money.
Part of what I'm trying to say, guys, do you want to be a spectator in life or do things that you want to do in your own life? It doesn't have to be in the realm of sports, but you need to do your own life and not watch someone else do theirs all the time.
People would spend. It's just instead you're giving up your trip to Europe to go to the Final Four. And I didn't consider this. Like I'm probably going to consider giving up traveling in 2028 and instead use that money to buy tickets for the Olympics because this will probably be the only time that the Olympics is within driving distance of where I live. And so I want to go the opportunity to see it because I don't think the Olympics will be back in Los Angeles within my lifetime. And that's worth it more to me than an international vacation, which I could do in any year. And that's just one of many examples of that inherent trade-off that a lot of middle class people do. And you can tell where somebody stands in the middle class then based on that is where they sit. The lower middle classes, if they're going to games, sit in the nosebleed seats. The middle class sit a little bit closer. The upper middle class sits in the lower bowl, and the professional classes will either sit in the lower bowl or get box seats. If the elites aren't really involved in sports, then who owns the sports teams? Well, sports teams are mostly entirely owned by new money, whether they make their wealth through being an early owner of these sports teams close to the foundation of the league, or through being successful in the business world in some other way and using those gains to buy the sports team. And you can simply just look at the ownership of the major professional sports teams in North America. If you look at the major North American sports teams, there's only about 5 ownership groups that can really be considered from old money families. The first one, the most notable, would be the Hunt family, who owned the Kansas City Chiefs. The Hunts, when they acquired the Chiefs, were already a older money family in the Kansas City area. And they have since owned the team. Other ones that really kind of qualify.
I think the Hunt family is the ketchup one. I'm pretty sure.
For this would be the Mara family, who own the New York Giants, and Woody Johnson, who is from the Johnson & Johnson fortune, who owns the New York Jets. The Bidwell family was Chicago old money, and they've owned the Arizona Cardinals really essentially since 1932. And then the Wirtz family with the Chicago Blackhawks also have owned the team since 1950. And they've had substantial wealth going generations before that. But really outside of those teams, pretty much every professional sports team in North America is owned by new money. Even ones you think would be old money, like the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Rooneys. Like Art Rooney Sr. was self-made. He built a business on boxing promoting, racetracks, and sports betting. And he was an entrepreneur who used his gains to buy the Steelers. Same with George Steinbrenner. George Steinbrenner was the second generation of a shipbuilding family. And his father started the shipbuilding company in the Midwest. And the son used the gains to buy the New York Yankees. They're not really old money at the time of acquiring the team, and they still arguably are not old money to this day. But same with the Buss family. Dr. Jerry Buss was an entrepreneur and a chemist before he acquired the Lakers and built a fortune in real estate. So these people are not old money elites. The old money elites either do not have the liquidity to acquire professional sports teams, or less simply and more likely just lack the interest to do so. And the reason why new money likes buying professional sports teams because they grew up in the middle class and thought, oh man, I would love to one day own one of these sports teams. It's always been a dream. And you know, here, like when a middle
That's an interesting point. This guy's pretty good.
class American, like when they make billions of dollars, one of the first things they think about is buying a professional sports team. Even I think about buying the Lakers or the Angels should the finances permit it. But again, though, I think the elites really just don't have the same sort of emotional attachment, even in their childhood, to these sporting teams, and therefore really never got involved in this business. I think that professional sports, given its relative affordability as a hobby, is a good form of cheap entertainment and provides a source of meaning in an otherwise secular world and as a distraction for
I don't think it provides meaning.
otherwise politically and economically chaotic world, has basically ironed its place in society. However, it's really become more the domain of the middle class who have the time and the mental bandwidth to be able to absorb interest in sports, whereas those on other social classes either cannot have the luxury of being able to do so or have better things to do and are busy in the arena.
Yeah, I want you guys to have better things to do instead of watching sports. I don't know, read a book, do something else, create something, take a walk. You know, it's kind of a really low level activity.
Versus watching men in the arena. Let me know your thoughts. Do I come off as elitist and condescending when I view sports as the opiates of the middle class? Would you buy a sports team if you had billions of dollars? And if so, what sports team would you think is the best investment from an ROI perspective? And which one would you want for personal reasons? I might do a future video on that in terms of if you were to buy a sports team, what would be the best ROI? But that's probably going to be a long way from now. Thank you guys for watching.
I'll subscribe to this guy. He was pretty cool. So yeah, I think I just kind of wanted to do like a 1 hour show on that. I'm a bit tired, so we'll we'll end it with this. We'll watch one last thing, so we'll change it from sports and watch this stupid female sergeant get arrested stealing shit in Walmart.
And it was unintentional.
Then we'll call it a day.
Nothing was intentional.
Yes, I am a detective.
Okay, grabs a receipt. Why is she grabbing a bag? Something weird's going on.
On October 6th, 2025, at a Walmart in Show Low, Arizona, Loss Prevention reported that a woman in uniform was acting suspiciously, placing items inside a tote and attempting to leave without paying. When officers arrived, they immediately recognized her as Sergeant Melissa Ward of the White Mountain Apache Police Department. She insisted it was all a mistake, but the cameras told a very different story.
So, what's going on right now?
Hey, Butler.
Melissa, how you doing?
She got totes. I saw her in totes grabbing them, and since it's such a big issue with them, I started following her. Every single item she got, she opened the tote, put it in, and closed it every single time. And then when she got to the front end, the only thing she purchased was the tote. And then she tried, before she even bought the tote, she went to the GM exit, was stopped there by the doorhouse, went back, went to customer service, then went back, purchased the tote, and then went through grocery. So it's kind of where we're at right now.
Can you send me that video?
Yeah,
We'll see. Just gonna chat with you and stuff. Were you just getting off work and stuff? Okay.
So I'm getting stuff for PD for that. I lost my keys.
Oh.
So I was gonna ask the lady at the front if she could.
Okay.
While I go out to the
And
parking
then
lot to get my keys.
get your keys and stuff. Okay.
So I'm blessed her because I got a phone call too.
Okay. Yeah, he'll chat with you about it and we'll try to figure
Yeah.
out. Do you have your weapon on you?
No, I took it off.
Professional courtesy. I'm not putting you in handcuffs, but we're
This bitch is Breaking Bad.
gonna take you to a car, put you in the back. I'm gonna take your bag and just make sure you have nothing on you. Okay? Fair enough. And then we'll chat down at the PD and stuff. Okay. We're gonna walk around here real quick. So she's got her patrol car here. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna have you sit back here, and then I'm gonna read your rights and interview. Okay? I heard her telling you.
Yes, she was. So that's why I was like, let's double check with Miles because she was trying to claim that she was going to go intercept somebody at the front to watch her car so she can go back out to her car because she can't find her keys.
Why was she stuffing it in the bag?
Exactly. So
did we find the keys?
That's another thing too. We'll search the bag and see if she has her keys or not. But as we pulled in, we see her patrol car chilling. Yeah. So she came here, just got off work, came here.
I'm gonna read your Miranda rights. You had a right to have one appoint to you prior to question. Do you understand these rights? Okay. So what happened here? And just be straight with me. I mean, we all make mistakes.
I'm looking for my keys. So what ended up happening was I went over. I'm supposed to get 2 totes. So I ended up grabbing 1 tote and I put some stuff in there. And then I got a phone call. Somebody was letting me know we had a family member pass away this morning. So I was just getting ready to leave, but I thought I could go to the front and ask for my keys. There's a lady that's usually right here. She's pretty good about letting you know somebody like park your cart and then go. I went in and I got one of the totes because I need to get candy for the department, and then I was going to put the other stuff in that tote for it's my personal stuff that I'm going to buy for today. So I couldn't fit the other tote in there because there's 2 lids. There's only 1 tote, right? I paid for the tote.
I can go. Did you see the video at all yet?
No. Do you want to just confirm?
Yeah, I'm
that
gonna
and
go
just-
watch. So the tote you have, how come you were putting it aside and then putting the lid on it?
Because I'm going to fit another tote in there with candy. If that makes any sense. It just fits side by side.
I just want to see the video because she's telling us something, and I want to make sure that what she's trying to tell us doesn't match up.
Watching her on the video.
Yeah.
When she was in the front end, yeah.
That check, those self checks that are closed.
See how she's trying to
reaches
craft
over, she got
some
her
like
phone out.
complex
She
narrative.
turns around the corner, goes over to Clint, door 2. Clint talks to her. She turns around. She goes to customer service. She waits in line at customer service for a minute or 2. She rolls up, says a couple words to generally the team lead, comes out, heads back to door 2, talks to Clint again, circles back around, and then she cuts through up through the self check, turns around, gets in line to self check 5.
Okay.
She's at self check 5. She scans the tote, just the tote. Doesn't open anything, scans the tote, just the tote. Gets her receipt.
Look at that.
Heads out, goes right
Let me
past.
rewind it. Look what she ended up stealing. Dog food, because she's a dog. Oh, man.
Just the tote.
It's all dog food.
Gets her receipt, heads out, goes right past the door host on 1. And she's passed everything. She's passed the scanner.
Yeah.
And that's when we stop her. And
Okay.
say, hey, what are you doing?
So because she's claiming that she was trying to find someone to watch her cart because she didn't know where. But that doesn't explain why she would then try to push out the merchandise. So you said you came here and you're buying it for the department?
Yes.
What were you buying for the department?
Candy.
For what?
It's a trunk or treats.
Your department pay for that?
Yes, they gave me $500.
And you're telling me just make sure it's clear because you had a family member die.
Yes.
You lost your keys, got flustered, and it was unintentional. It was a mistake.
Yes.
Nothing was intentional.
Yes, I am a detective.
Okay.
No, this is not
Okay.
intentional.
And so that's your bag, your personal bag?
Yes.
So do you have any problem if I look there, make sure no
Interesting
keys or nothing
quote,
in there?
Yes,
Okay.
that's fine.
And you have no keys on you?
No.
And so that way I'm gonna sort it out because obviously if it's truly a mistake,
Yes.
the last thing I want you to do is in our
Oh,
car.
me too.
Okay, so just give me a minute. Let me try to figure this out, and that's why I want to respect you and put you here so you're not in front of everybody out there.
No, I'm feeling already embarrassed.
I know.
That's not my
Okay.
intention.
Okay, just hang tight for me, okay?
Thank you.
Did she say any reason why she was like stuffing it at all?
Like she told me because she had 2 totes, and so with the 2 totes, it took all the carts, so that's why she was putting it in there and then there, because otherwise she wouldn't have enough room. So it kind of makes sense.
Okay. But she ended up purchasing 1 tote, then? Is that what they
Yeah.
said? But then they, okay.
Well, Toast looked at the video.
Guys, I don't buy any of her story. I don't know what she's like. Oh, I lost my keys, so I waited here or something. Like I don't buy any of this bullshit.
So we can put her, if we want, we can put her bag in here and we can go take a look at that video.
Okay.
Just to make sure. I agree with you, just to make sure.
Hey, real quick question. I was talking to the officer, and when you went through there, you did pay for one of the totes. How come you only paid for one and none of the stuff in there?
Well, because I was like I said, I got a phone call. I was flustered.
So you got
Oh, so you were flustered, so you just conveniently forgot to pay for it. Please.
you got a phone call when you're checking out, or when?
No, I got it on my way out.
So after you checked out.
Yes.
So that makes no sense. So after you stole it, you got a phone call and then got flustered. Okay.
So, but yeah. So
See those black eyes?
You know the thing about a shark, he's got lifeless eyes, black eyes, like a doll's eyes.
No. Let me rephrase that. I got a phone call a little bit earlier than that on my way out the other side. I forgot that there was other items in there, and like I said, like in my mind thinking, okay, I gotta go look for my keys to get out of here.
Okay, hang tight. We're just gonna check the video, okay? Yeah,
I gotta go look for my keys to get out of here, please.
just want to make sure that we can clearly refute what she's trying to tell us.
She's gonna fight this. Like,
Oh yeah, I get
She
it.
has to fight this because she wants to keep her certification.
So under our criteria, this is
She's already staged the tote.
yeah. So the toe is full.
She belongs to the streets.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, grabs a receipt. Why is she grabbing a bag?
This is confusing to me. She grabs a bag and sticks it in there, and then she never does anything with it.
My man, is she planning to like go try to do returns on the merchandise with the bag? Like, what is the plan here? Something weird's going on. Okay. All right, she's full of it.
Yeah, we're thinking so. The more we talk to her,
she
it's not
Those two guys came in. She's bullshit. She's full of it. Oops.
She belongs to the streets.
She picks out a bunch of stuff. She keeps putting one item in the tote, closes the lid. She went to a door hose, went to customer service. At no point did she leave the cart or attempt to leave the merchandise. She has the tote staged in the cart. She goes up to the self-checkout, skips the tote, takes the receipt, grabs an empty Walmart bag, and then proceeds right past everything to come out the doors. And that's when they stop her. The tote was like this.
Who the hell has done that? Goes to the self-checkout, takes an empty Walmart bag, and goes through, like, I don't get, like, how do they think they're not going to get caught?
Is there any candy items? Nope. That don't make sense because didn't she say she came to buy candy for the PD?
She's just trying to play on her emotions with the trick or treat thing. She's lying. One tote, two lids, and then the empty bag. I'm thinking she grabbed the bag to try to probably stage it.
So she said she was trying to buy candy for the police department to give to kids or something like that. She didn't. She just bought all dog food.
Is legitimate if she got stopped, would be my guess.
Yeah. Everything I've seen, obviously, I just work in Walmart, but everything I've seen, she was super nervous.
Yeah.
And I recognize her, and I swear I've seen her on camera.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let us know too if you see anything else.
Yeah, I'll definitely tell.
Would you like her trespass on top of this too?
No, it's her first one, so.
My thought, we go back to re-interview her, just straight up lay it out and say, listen, the difference between you getting booked into jail today and getting cited for shoplifting is you telling the truth.
Yeah.
Because I think if she wants to continue to lie about it, we also charge her false reporting, dude. Like, because I mean, what's the reason? Why lie at this point?
My issue is her doing this makes all of us look bad, so it's kind of BS.
I think if she's willing to tell the truth, we consider that odd.
Yeah, because she has her card.
But I think if she wants to try to dig in her heels and stick with her BS story, then dude, no, we're not playing.
Car's here, call supervisor, you need to pick up cars.
If this was a guy, I don't think they'd be treating her this way. See how they're trying to give her like every chance possible and everything. It's crazy.
Walmart.
Yeah, I'm game for that.
That's my feeling.
I think it's a good strategy. I really do. Let's do it. This was a personal bag, right?
Yeah, it's all her personal, yeah.
Travel well belongs to the White Mountain.
What is that?
C10 Pro, dude.
IR scanner.
No?
What's an IR scanner?
I don't know. Let me look it up.
Pretty high tense there.
It's a camera detector, like for detecting surveillance cameras.
Oh.
What is that thing?
Detecting surveillance cameras.
Yeah, or
Walmart
bugs like
cameras?
RF frequency stuff. Is that's the bag that she took with? I bet you.
She probably thought that scanner thing might help her like find cameras or shit more to help her get away with it or something. That's already kind of sketchy right there.
Here, super good, but she said she claimed. Oh, she got a lot.
Oh, nice, dude.
She's probably been doing this a while.
Well, and so Miles
She got the bags and put all the dog shit in.
said he swear he has seen her before.
Which I'd be interested if he goes back and finds anything else.
Dude, you know he will.
Yeah. Captain Steele's calling.
Oh, nice.
Okay, real quick, I'm gonna tell you, after going in there, went to the video and saw the video on that, and actually seeing where, each time going through there, concealing items, and then why did you grab an extra Walmart bag when you checked out?
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Well, even in your bag, you got a bunch.
Oh, did I? I didn't realize. So crazy. See how they just try to like play dumb?
Empty Walmart bags.
Those are for poop. For
Yeah, it is. It's for dog shit. That's what I was right. Because she's a dog.
She belongs to the streets.
my Belgian Malinois.
So you keep them when you buy, but you don't recall grabbing one today? Okay. Well, and then initially you told me you came here because of trunk or treat.
Yes.
The city gave you. Well, none of the stuff you had with you were nothing with candy or nothing like that.
Well, yeah. So I was gonna do my stuff and then come through and get the candy stuff because it's really heavy to carry in a tote.
It just doesn't look good.
No, it's not. No, it's not. That's why they have a shopping cart in which you were using. Dunderheaded twat.
The whole thing, but I just asked you to be honest because here's the situation here. Video's here. The other officers reviewed it, and that's why I'm asking you to be honest. You were both officers, so.
No, that was not my intention.
So you never had attention. You're saying it's totally accidental.
Yes.
All right, hang tight for me.
Do you mind if I talk to you?
Jump in, yeah. She's already been Mirandized.
So here's the situation. Obviously, you know why we're over here.
Yes, I do.
Yep. So why were the items inside of the tote?
Like I said, I have 2 separate totes. I was going to do one for the candy and then one for my personal stuff. I was on my way home.
Now we told her professional curse. She didn't even cuss. We don't do that to no one else.
And when were you going to get the candy then?
I was going to get them probably around the same time. I was going around to make candy usually melts. I didn't want to put it in my car right away.
Please. Nice little try, though. I'll give her some points for creativity on the spot for that.
I believe that you're looking for your keys. But here's the deal. You did a crime today.
I know it doesn't look good.
No, it's illegal. It's not that it doesn't look good. It's shoplifting.
That was not my intention.
I'm not
I
asking
just
you
got
what
a
your
phone
intention
call.
was.
I know.
Okay?
I know. I got
I'm
a
not
phone
saying
call.
when you got here you planned to steal stuff.
No.
I'm not saying that.
What's the boss's number? You might call him, give him a rundown. What's the number?
Oh, I'll give you his word for it now since we're.
Now, you're a certified peace officer, correct?
Yes.
If I lost my keys, what are the keys for?
My car, my unit.
Yeah. So if I lost my keys from my unit, I would leave my merchandise and go find it because it's kind of important. Especially you said your weapon's in there, correct?
Yes.
So you guys to speak to her like a child.
So why go through self-checkout, purchase the tote, and then try to leave the store?
Hey, how's it going? We're chatting with her. If you just give us
Oh, great. Another female cop captain. Look at
a
this.
couple minutes.
Yeah.
Actually, can we talk over here real quick? You're her captain, right?
Yes,
Is
I'm
that
the
you're captain? So they have her on video, and it looks pretty clear that she was concealing items into a tote.
They've been watching you. I watched the surveillance video. You look like a thief. I'm gonna be honest with you. You look like a shoplifter on the video. I've watched a lot of shoplifters on video. You look like a shoplifter.
Okay, that's not good then.
It's not. I mean,
And you look like a dog.
we deal in probable cause, right? What's probable? Let me ask you. You have this call right now. Take your profession out of it. What's probable?
Evidence, whatever you've got.
I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you what's probable.
I guess what it looks like.
What does it look like?
It looks like shoplifting.
It does.
What a day.
All right, sit tight.
No, this is her captain.
Oh, hello.
So she's saying she did need to buy a tote.
Cool.
Why did she show up here?
Well, she also shoplifted.
Yeah, that's what I told
So
her.
problem is that
Yeah.
she's given us 7 different stories about what she was doing and how she was trying to get that accomplished.
Yeah.
And asset protection watched her load a tote with personal items,
Yeah.
one item at a time, close the lid every time. She had ample opportunities to stop and leave her
Yeah.
cart with someone. She decided instead to purchase only the tote that was
Yeah.
full of the items
Yeah.
and then attempt to leave the store without stopping to talk to anybody
Yeah.
before she was confronted by asset protection.
Does she have her unit key?
No, she's saying she still doesn't know where that is. But we also haven't dug through her pockets or anything like that.
Oh, so she just left the cop car key. So unit means they're, cop car SUV. So she probably left that in the store, or she's just lying also about that.
But I mean, she did shoplifting, so that's where we're at today.
Okay.
Is at the very least she's getting charged for shoplifting.
Okay.
So
I was just talking to the supervisor and make sure it was okay. He says it's okay if you want to see the video, so that way you understand what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
By now, officers had reviewed the footage, heard her story, and felt confident they understood what happened. But before making any decisions, they wanted her own captain to see the video for herself. But when they stepped back into Walmart, they were met with new information.
Hey, can you show us that video again real quick?
So I'm pretty sure I found her doing it. I think I found her doing it, yeah.
Hey,
So she was doing it again. Wow. So I think they steal for the thrill of it. I think that's kind of what they do.
you found her doing it another time, not this one.
There's another one. This one's going to take a lot longer.
So you found another one too?
Yeah, so I found another one. This one's the most concerning because I got to make sure that she didn't pay for any of this stuff. I don't want to say anything out of turn, but
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. No,
she has a tote with a bunch of stuff around it. One of my associates actually does their job for once and takes the top of the tote off.
Holy cow.
Yeah, there's Lego sets on Lego sets.
Wow. Stealing Lego sets?
On Lego sets. So that's all inside of there. I want to make sure that she didn't at any point pay for this already. But that's pretty suspicious in our line of work.
Give me the dates. Today's the what? The 6th?
Today is the 6th, the 30th.
9:30.
And then the big one was going to be 8/27.
8:27.
If that is what we see.
She looks like she.
Yeah, so she puts it back on without. No, she.
What is she trying to steal Legos for? Are Legos an item that people can resell for a lot of money or something?
Back, that same. Maybe it's a backpack she carries always, but
Maybe that's like her purse or something.
Yeah, but this one, the 30th, she has her hair tight. She has her looks like
work boots on there.
She did it last week. Look at this. So she just thinks she can just put shit in here. It's more dog food. It looks
So on the
like
9:30 in uniform and today uniform, and her patrol vehicle's out there now. So Like I told you, being honest, straight with me, and I'm
So she was dressed like a cop stealing shit. Wow.
gonna be straight with you right now.
Okay.
So after loss prevention saw you this little time, he found 2 other days where you're filling it with the toys, filling the other one with the candy. So if it's truly those 3, then they want to book you in for a felony for the value in that, because the one with all the toys that you didn't pay for, the other time when you came in. So they have 3 videos they're pulling right now, and it's showing the 10. That's why I asked you to be honest. Just I'll give you opportunity. So we're human. We make mistakes. Did you do it or not? I mean, that's why I said.
It's not a mistake. She did it on purpose. This is her little scheme.
Doesn't look good, especially you being an officer if you're lying to me. But straight, I made a mistake. I did this. Tell me. That's all I'm asking you.
No. That's Tylenol, brain.
So is that something you commonly do? And just
No, I wasn't trying to take anything today.
today?
No.
But you have in the past.
Yes.
Okay, that's it. That's all I'm asking. Be honest with me, because that's the worst thing is when I see those videos and then you tell me today. You know what I mean? So in the past you did, but today was truly an accident.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Fair enough. I appreciate that. Okay. And that's what I'm trying to work with you. I just don't on handcuffs. I'm not doing that. I would expect you to do the same to me if you dealt with me. Okay. Yes. So just hang tight. That's why I'm gonna keep you posted as we go. I told you at the beginning to be straight.
They're kissing her ass.
To be honest, and honestly, because when I went in there, they showed me 2 other videos. And I said, so if there is 3, we're booking you for a felony. And she's like, today was not intentional. I said, so are you telling me you never stole here? She's like, I have stole here. So she's admitting to it now. Yeah. But not today.
So she stole the other time, just not this time. Please.
But it'll give Miles some time to give us the evidence. But he
told me within he told me, I gave my number. I said, so you have an answer within an hour? He said, within an hour. And just to tell you, she asked what was going on after you were here. And I said, after reviewing the video, I realized you lied to me. I said, have you stolen? She's like, yeah, I have stolen here.
Yeah.
But today wasn't intentional. So we're going to discuss it with our boss, go back to see if we're going to do the long form.
It'll be nice to do the long form so she can come in tomorrow and place her on leave or something, pending investigation.
But we'll let you know here in about 20 minutes or so.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Appreciate it, Captain.
Hey, Melissa, what were you thinking? I mean, I don't understand. Why would you put your career on line for something foolish like this? You know what I mean? It's not worth it. Even if you say today wasn't intentional, they've already got 3 other videos. Why would you do? I don't understand.
They probably have other ones at other stores too. She probably does this all the time.
In the days that followed, loss prevention completed a full audit of Melissa's past visits, and detectives reviewed the transactions tied to her employee status and the items she claimed were for work. That review uncovered additional concerns, including purchases made with department funds that didn't match what was taken,
What the hell was she doing? Legos and dog food?
and items that were never reimbursed. With the repeated thefts, the use of a tote to conceal merchandise, and the financial discrepancies, the case was forwarded for felony review under Arizona's organized retail theft and fraudulent scheme statutes. Investigators ultimately linked her to multiple incidents over several months, with roughly $1,200 in alleged thefts and fraudulent refunds, including returns on items that records showed were never purchased. Melissa was cited
Oh, so she would go return shit too. That were never wow.
and released that night, trespassed from every Walmart, and later indicted on multiple counts of felony shoplifting and
Good.
fraudulent schemes. She pleaded not guilty, and her employment status with the department has not been publicly updated since. However,
They probably still let her have her job because she's a woman.
if convicted, she would automatically face decertification in the state of Arizona and never again be allowed to work as a trusted public servant. We reached out to Melissa Ward for comment, but did not receive a response.
I see a little bit of kind of Native American fetal alcohol syndrome kind of going on here. Wow. So, I'm gonna call it a night, guy. Yeah, send her the dog pound. Yeah. So I'm gonna do a shorter one tonight, guys. I'm pretty tired. I really wasn't feeling the vibe to this one too much about the sports one. So, thanks for being here so much. And I want you guys to have a great night. Bye bye.